We thank God for this Sunday morning. And we pray that God's grace will abound in your life. May it grow and become powerful in your life in Jesus' name. Thank you to those who led us this morning. We appreciate the energy and spirit that you have put into the message. I want to start by briefly telling you, if I can keep track of them in my mind, 4 short stories or toles or proverbs. 4 short stories. Are you ready for stories? Do you like stories? 4 short stories. In the first story, there's a little boy named Daniel. Yes, me. A little boy named Daniel standing in front of my mother with broken glass shattered on the floor. And my mother is standing there asking me what happened, and the glass has fallen on the ground and broken. And the little boy named Daniel says to his mother, "It fell on the floor and it broke." Some of you get it and some of you don't get it at all. My mother is standing there pointing to the broken glass on the floor and asking me, "Daniel, what happened? I see broken glass. What happened?" And I said, the glass fell on the floor and it broke. And my mother said, "No, change your words. I knocked the glass off of the table and it broke." My mother used to say to me, "Take a personal responsibility, because glass does not jump off of tables. Glass does not jump off of shelves. If you knocked it down, acknowledge that I knocked it down." That's the first story. It fell and it broke. My mother said, "No. Say, I knocked it and it broke." Personal responsibility and accountability are very important. The foundation of personal growth and removing ourselves from temptation and removing ourselves from sins in our life is to take responsibility. Second story. A man is standing in front of a judge in a courtroom, and the policeman just stood up to explain the criminal activity or the crime that the man has done. And the judge says to the man, "Please come forward." The man comes and stands in front of the judge. And the judge says, "Please, put your hand on the Bible and promise me that you are going to tell the truth." And the man puts his hand on the Bible. This is how we do it in our country. He puts his hand on the Bible and says, "I promise to tell the truth." And the judge asks him, "Please, on this date, April 17th, where were you? On April 17th, did you meet this person? On April 17th, did you and this person fight? On April 17th, did you pick a stone and break the head of the person you were fighting with?" And the man is standing there saying, "Yes, yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor." And then the judge says to the criminal, he says, "Why did you do this? And one of the most common answers in Ghana in the court, or in America in the court, is this answer. Please, Your Honor, I don't know. The devil entered me. The devil made me do it. I don't know what happened. I was just there arguing with my friend, and suddenly, at once, I don't know, the devil let me pick a stone, and suddenly my friend was dead. Your Honor, the devil made me do it. Then the judge will say, well, sir, the devil is not in this courtroom, and I don't have any way to imprison the devil. So I'm going to hold you responsible for the death of the person you were fighting with. Please, that's the second story I'm telling you. I hope you make sense out of that. This excuse is a very common excuse for all sorts of criminal activity. I remember a man was confessing to me that he left his house and climbed over a wall and through a window to sleep with his neighbor's wife when his neighbor traveled. And people caught him in the room with the woman. And he told me, Pastor, honestly, I don't know what happened. I don't even remember leaving my house. I don't remember how I entered. I just realized maybe the devil picked me and put me in bed with the woman. Really? See, the word of God tells us that is not what happened. Because if the devil can just pick you and you wake up in the bed of your neighbor's wife, then there's nothing like personal responsibility, because, you know, anything can happen. But that's not what the Bible tells us. Please, in the book of James, the Bible tells us, every temptation enters you when you desire something. Not just like, I want it. No, you desire it, and you desire it, and you desire it until it becomes so powerful that we now don't call it desire, we call it lust. I must have it. And then you continue holding that lust, and you hold it, and you care for it, and you keep thinking about it. And finally, the Bible says in the book of James, when lust gives birth, between conception and delivery, we have different lengths of time. Right now, Ruth is waiting for her pig to give birth. And I asked Ruth, how long is the gestation of a pig? Please, our animal people, we understand gestation. And I think humans too, we call it gestation. But we normally call it pregnancy, length of pregnancy. But a pig has a very strange gestation. 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. I think God was just sitting down and saying, okay, let's see. Look at this very strange animal, very round like this. How long should the pregnancy be? Okay, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. A human pregnancy is 9 months. I can't remember elephant right now. Can anybody remember elephant? It's quite long. 1.5 years or something like that. 18 months. I think so. 1.5 years. Gestation. But what the book of James does not tell us is how long from temptation conception to temptation delivery. We don't know. We only know that this is the process. When you keep the temptation and you hold it and you massage it and you feed it and you keep it warm, it will grow, it will grow, it will grow. One day, when lust has conceived, it brings forth sin, and sin, when it is to its end point, brings death. Another story. This one is a true story. I read it in the news this week. A man in America married his wife. They had a normal relationship. I don't know good or bad, but they had a normal relationship. They married for 10 years. According to the man, After marrying his wife, he rather developed attraction for his wife's sister than for his wife. I think that is taboo in every culture. After some years, his wife's sister came and rented the apartment in the same building with them. So now he's seeing his wife every day. He lives with his wife, and he sees his wife's sister every day. And the man's wife traveled for 2 weeks for a business trip. And the man called his wife's sister and told her, I need you to come and help me to move a piano. It's too heavy for me. Come and help me move the piano. And while they were moving the piano, he raped his wife's sister and held the neck until she died. And he picked his phone and he sat down beside the corpse and he called the police and said, I have killed my wife's sister. And they said, wait, we are coming. And he waited. And the police came and he just gave them his hands. And the police said, why? He said, honestly, officer, for 10 years, I have wanted and lusted and thought about and desired. And today, and he did not try to run. He did not try to escape. He didn't try to blame anybody. He just said, after 10 good years, that lust has given birth to death. Death for the girl. Death for the man, because according to American law, he's likely to die in prison, because that crime, it will be many years he will be in prison. And what about his wife? It's death for her. Even whether she lives or she doesn't live, whether she lives or dies, it will be like death for her. Your husband raped and killed your own sister. Like, what kind of life do you have? The book of James tells us, all temptation starts from desire. All of us have desires. All of us have wrong desires. Please don't think that when you reach the age of Pastor Daniel, you will never think evil again. No, those wrong desires come. The question is, what do we do with those desires? If you take that desire and say, oh, let me get ready. Anytime I have free chance, I will bring it out and be thinking about it. You are feeding it. You are massaging it. You are keeping it warm. You are keeping it alive. Don't tell anybody. Keep it. And it will grow and grow and grow and grow. And one day, and people will say, how? I knew this man. I never knew this man is a murderer. The last story. Please, I'm introducing 4 stories to you. This one is a proverbial story. There was a man who lived in the world. And in that world, there was a king. And the king was a good king. And the king gave laws to his people. And his people obeyed the laws and lived in happiness under the king. They lived in a very secure city with their king. But the king used to call his people together and warn them that in the great forest outside of the city, there is a dragon. Please, do we understand dragon? A giant and dangerous animal that can eat human beings, a dragon. The king told them that outside in the forest, there is a giant dragon. Anytime you leave this city, go with your weapons and do not go alone, so that if you meet the dragon, he will not just eat you and that will be all. You will rather have enough people to fight and overcome the dragon. And he used to warn the people about the dragon with a giant mouth and giant teeth, and he warned the people, the dragon is there in the bush. And then the king added another warning. He said, in addition to warning you about the dragon which can just eat you at once, I need to warn you that the dragon reproduces through eggs. If you see the dragon egg, it does not look dangerous. It does not have teeth. It does not make sound like it is just a very beautiful colored egg. But the dragon comes from the egg. You know, we have animals that produce, they give birth to babies, and some lay eggs. Any of our animal people can tell me there's a name for animals that do eggs. You say? People are saying it. I'm not hearing it. Reptiles. Okay, yeah, I think all reptiles. So a dragon would be in the reptile family. So the king said, in addition to being careful of the dragon, I want to warn you about the dragon egg. Because if you see the dragon, nobody has to tell you, be careful, that's the dragon. You yourself, you will be running. Hearing the sound, seeing the mouth, seeing the body of the dragon, you will be running. Nobody will come and tell you, hey, be careful, that's the dragon. But he said, if you meet the egg, you will see it to be beautiful. You will see it to be harmless. You will see it to be interesting. And you will be curious to know what is coming out of a big egg like this. We have a type of bird in the world called ostrich. Ostrich. It has very long legs. 1 year for my father's birthday, my mother bought him that egg for his breakfast. The egg is like this. Larger than the yellow melon that you have been eating. One egg. So the king said, if you see any unusual or beautiful egg, destroy it. It will give birth to a dragon. If you see the egg, destroy it. And the story continues that one day, one of the king's men who loved the king, who obeyed the king, who enjoyed serving the king, he was in the forest outside of the city, and he came upon a nest. And in the nest, on the ground, there was one very beautiful egg, having the color like this. An egg, not white like a chicken egg, not brown like a chicken egg, but a blue color like this. And so it was somehow a big egg. And he looked at the egg, and he looked at the egg, and he started thinking about the egg. And he remembered that the king said, when you see the egg, destroy it. Treat the egg like you treat the dragon. Kill it and run. But the man did not break the egg. He looked at the egg. He looked at the egg. He decided, I won't kill it today. I won't kill it today. Let me look at it. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back and kill it. But today I just want to look at it. So when he was walking away from the egg, he said, how am I going to remember where the egg is? So he looked around and he made a mark on one tree so that when he's coming back, he will be able to find the egg again. Please, in case you are not getting it, egg is temptation. So he remembered where it is. Anyway, I'm going to kill it tomorrow, so I need to make a mark on the tree so that tomorrow I will come and break the egg. The next day he decided, let me call my friend so that my friend will also see the egg. Then he was going to call his friend, and he thought, what about if my friend blames me that I didn't kill the egg yesterday? Okay, I won't tell my friend. So the whole day he was doing his work. He was doing what the king asked him to do, but his only mind was, as soon as I finish my work, I will go and see the egg. He finished his work. He has to hide and dodge and go back into the forest. And he searched until he found the egg again. And he looked at the egg. And today he decided to pick it and hold it. And when he picked it and held it, The egg was moving inside. He could feel some kind of like shaking or vibration in the egg, very nice and warm. Part of his mind was like, if it is warm, maybe the dragon was here keeping it warm. You know, that's how eggs are. The mothers keep them warm. So where is the dragon? But he did not see the dragon. He did not hear any sound. He did not feel any danger. When he held the small egg, it was like, he did not break the egg on that day. He kept coming back to see the egg. Finally, he decided that somebody else can find this egg and break it. And he felt some kind of like, he and the egg, he liked the egg. So he picked the egg and he hid it in some clothings and carried it inside the city. He has to hide and carry it because any one of the king's servants who will find it will definitely break it and report him to the king. He realized that his life was no more interesting for him because every day he was worried that somebody's going to find the egg. Every day he's worried that somebody will break the egg. Every day he's worried that somebody will go and report him to the king. So his daily work, which used to be happiness and joy, now became danger and worry to him. His only happiness was in the evening to go and enter his room, lock the door top and lock the door down, go and sit on his bed, and under the bed he will remove the egg and hold it. And he noticed that as the days were continuing, the sound and vibration inside the egg was becoming more. He will hold the egg and feel like things were shaking inside the egg. I think the rest of the story, you can understand what is going to happen. The baby dragon will come out. But the baby dragon doesn't look like a big dragon. Almost every animal which is very dangerous when it is grown, when they are babies, honestly, they are cute like, Please, if I could bring a baby lion to you, no single one of you will want to kill it. Just like a cat, just like a baby cat. Look at the lion. Oh, if I told you, kill that murderer, you'd be like, this small thing's so cute. So he used to play with the dragon. Now it became very difficult. How is he going to feed the dragon? He doesn't have enough food. The dragon is very hungry. So he has to start stealing food from the king to go and feed to the dragon. You see how sin, add on sin, add on sin, add on to sin? He started messing up in his work because he was only worried about the dragon. And they started blaming him and punishing him within his work because he wasn't doing the work well again. He's living one life with the king and one life at night with the dragon. He noticed that the baby dragon, as it started to grow, sometimes when he was feeding it, if the food was not enough, the dragon will look at him and do this. And some days he was afraid, but he was like, oh, he's just playing with me. You know, he's a baby, so he's just playing with me. And the dragon continues to grow. You are a foolish man. You are feeding your own murderer. You are caring for your own agent of death. You are giving a blanket to the one who will finally eat you. Please, I hope you are understanding this tole. Book of James says, every temptation comes from desire. When we keep the desire, it grows and grows to be lust. And when you keep holding the lust and you realize, oh, the egg is shaking, wow, it will give birth. And maybe when it gives birth, you will not know that it is a murderer. You will see it to be somehow cute. Those little teeth that will one day eat you They look so cute inside that small baby dragon mouth. And when lust gives birth, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it grows, leads to death. Please, we've told 4 stories this morning. I hope you are on board with the stories. So what can we do? How do we deal with temptation and sin when they are still small? Because that man's foot would have been enough to kill the dragon when it was in the egg. That's all. But he wouldn't do it. I know all of us are farmers. The weed which you can pull with one finger, when you allow it for 3 months, it will take 2 men to remove that plant. I have had weeds like that I needed another person to come so that we pull it together. 2 men removing something that 3 months ago, 1 finger or just 2 fingers, just. The best day to pull a weed is yesterday. The best day to kill the dragon is yesterday. Why should you fight with it when it's like this? Why not step on it when it is in the egg form? Please, God gave me these words. Temptation is like a bacteria that dies when exposed to air and sunlight. Please, when I was a boy, HIV/AIDS was a new thing, and it was terrifying. We were small boys, we would talk about HIV/AIDS, HIV/AIDS. And I remember when I was in a science class and the teacher told us, do you know that oxygen kills HIV/AIDS within some few minutes? And he said, if you want it to die faster, bring it out into the sunlight and the ultraviolet rays, what we call UV. The UV rays will kill that bacteria fast. And I was shocked because I was thinking that HIV/AIDS is one of the most powerful, terrible things in the world. See, the problem is that the HIV/AIDS gets inside your body where the sunlight cannot kill it, and it will continue growing there. Temptation is like a bacteria that dies when it is exposed to air and sunlight. Just bring it out into the air and the sunlight, and the bacteria dies. Yes. We call that solar sterilization. My students, we are adding words today. Solar, that means sun. Sterilization, that means kill the bacteria and make it pure, make it safe. Solar sterilization. You put bacteria in the sun, and the air and the sun will kill the bacteria. Temptation is like that bacteria. The air and the sunlight which will kill the temptations in your life are personal responsibility and confession. Personal responsibility and confession will kill the bacteria before you need to go to the doctor, before you have committed the sin, before the temptation is killing you. I have spoken to doctors in the northern region who tell me that the most painful part of being a doctor in the northern region is not accident cases, because accidents will always happen. You know, an accident is an accident. Somebody comes with a wound. Somebody fell off of a motorcycle. A block fell on the head of the mason. It's an accident. They said that one is tragic, but it's not painful to them. They said the one that is painful to them is the disease which could have been cured with 15 cds antibiotic. I hope we know the name antibiotic. That is antibacteria. The doctor said to me, the painful one is the one that you see, a rotten leg, a wound like this, But you, the doctor, know that before the wound was like this, it was a sore like this. And 15 cds antibiotic, amoxicillin, what is the village one? We call it Tupaya. 10 cds or 15 cds antibiotic could have finished it. But instead, I will boil some mahogany bark. I will chew some neem's leaves. Maybe it needs this, maybe it needs that, and the wound is growing. And the doctor will sit down and say, hey, because of 15 cds, somebody is going to lose their leg. Hey! Please let me tell you something. As a pastor, it's the same thing. The most painful thing is when someone falls into a sin, which you know that before it was a sin, it was a lust. And before it was a lust, it was a desire. And before it was a desire, it was just some small, I wish, I want, just look, see, want, desire. And to know that a simple personal responsibility and confession, common 15 cds to Paya, would have solved that problem. But the person didn't come and say, Pastor, I need prayer. Pastor, I'm facing a problem. I need to confess this to you. No. They hid it. Anyway, the egg is very beautiful. Blue egg. Have you ever seen a blue egg? Wow. When I hold the egg, it shakes. Like maybe the baby dragon knows me because I'm the one holding it. Wow. It's painful as a pastor. So please, today, I'm warning you. The temptation is like a bacteria that dies. Air and sunlight are personal responsibility and confession. Please, we are